I have another recipe for you that I want to show you. Simple, easy, Fetuccini Alfredo. What makes it a little different, I'll show you when I show you the ingredients. Okay. Butter, real butter, don't use margarine. Half and half. Garlic powder, do not use garlic salt, garlic powder, better flavor. A little bit of black pepper, and an ever so small smidge of salt, because the main ingredients in this are ricotta cheese and grated pecorino romano cheese. So this recipe came from a chef. He was a local chef in some local restaurants in my area. His name was Butch DeBona. I can say his name. He's passed away. I know there's some of his relatives on my page, but he was a great chef, and he made a Fetuccini Alfredo in one of the restaurants that my husband and I used to go to. And I said to him one day, Butch, what do you put in this Fetuccini Alfredo? It just tastes different from any other one that I've ever had. And he kind of hesitated a minute, you know, like he didn't really want to tell me. He went back in the kitchen, he came back out, and he wrote it down for me on a piece of paper. These are the ingredients that he used. And you know, if you research Fetuccini Alfredo recipes, most of them don't have, well, none of them. I have to tell you the truth, I didn't find one that had ricotta cheese in it. So, this is great. Where do you see how easy this is and how delicious it is? So we're gonna get going with, I have a pan on the stove, and I'm gonna move you over and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just turned up the heat on a little Dutch oven. I'm gonna lower this down a little bit. These gas jets, I'm afraid of them sometimes. All right, so I have a little Dutch oven. Into this Dutch oven, I cut 6 tablespoons of the butter. Why not the whole stick? I don't know, the 6 tablespoons for the amount I'm using, you know, because over the years when you make a recipe, you kind of adjust things according to how much you're making. The 6 tablespoons just sounds better than a whole stick. So 6 tablespoons of butter, and you're gonna let that start to melt in the bottom of the pan. And while that butter's melting, you're gonna take the ricotta cheese, and for the amount of pasta I'm gonna make about a half pound, might be a little bit more, but I'm gonna use half of this container. So this is a 16-ounce container, 1 pound of ricotta cheese. So I'm gonna use about a half pound of that. And you're gonna put that right into the pan with the butter that's melting, and you're gonna have to stand over this for a minute. This is the only part that's a little tedious. You're gonna stand over this pan until the butter and the ricotta cheese are totally blended together. So that's the most tedious thing that you're gonna have to do. You know, I have a video of this on my old pantry page when I used to make like movies. And anyway, I just wanted to come back with it again and just focus on the Fetuccini Alfredo. I think when I did that video, I had some other goodies that went along with it on there. So this is good. You can just focus on that. So again, you're going to keep the heat on this pan, and you're just going to keep turning this. You want the butter to melt in. I'm going to tip this pan and feel it so you can see what I'm doing here. Let me hold that spoon, okay? It's nice and smooth. See it? The butter's still not totally melted, so I'm going to keep turning that until it's all melted. And believe me, I'm going to repeat myself again. This is the most tedious part of this, is getting that butter and ricotta melted. So, I'll talk now. You know, there are a lot of beautiful local restaurants back in the 70s and 80s, and I wouldn't be right if I didn't mention another restaurant. You know, I was a very plain eater most of my life until, well, I shouldn't say most of my life, until I was about 19 or 20 years old. It was when I was dating my husband, who loved to go out to eat, when I learned to eat a lot of stuff. My father didn't like a lot of sauces and a lot of things on food. Everything was plain. So I had to learn how to eat. out. And another local restaurant that I used to go to, and I have to mention them, Geraldine's Seafair. It was on Atwood Avenue, water restaurant. And actually, the owner's daughter, Geraldine, was the chef for many years. And that's where I learned how to eat marsala sauces, Frenchese sauce. What a fabulous, fabulous cook. Wonderful family. And that's where I learned a lot of this stuff. But Butch DeBona told me how to make this Alfredo. So I'm going to tip the pan again and show you, look how nice and smooth that is. So now I'm just going to lower this heat down a little bit. I've got my pan of water going over here for the pasta. Into this, put the heat up a bit. Now that it's all blended, now this is 1 pint of half and half. I'm going to go with about half of the container. All right? I know my measurements are really odd, but you know, this is how I cook. Okay. Now you're going to stir that in. It's very loose right now. It's a nice loose sauce. Into here. And again, you're going to put, should have opened that. You're going to put the Romano cheese, the grated pecorino Romano cheese. So I'm going to go with about, I would say a good cup of Romano cheese. A lot of flavor in this Romano cheese when you combine it with the ricotta cheese and the butter. Beautiful. And again, you're just going to stand here. You're going to turn. This never has to come to a boil or a simmer. You're just getting this hot. That's it. Let me wipe my hand off. Okay. Into this. Again, you're doing this all over the heat. The heat is on. I've got the garlic powder. Now, depending on how much you like the flavor of garlic, I'm putting this all in one spot so I can give you a measurement. Tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder into there. Oh, as soon as you put it in. Oh, as soon as you put the garlic powder in, you can smell it. It's so good. I like garlic powder. I don't use garlic salt. Garlic salt, it's like, you know, when you use garlic salt, you have to be careful. You know, any other ingredients that have salt in them, it'll be too salty. So the garlic powder is just garlic. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of black pepper. And let's call that a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Beautiful. And again, I'm just turning this. I only want it hot. I'm actually going to lower the heat right now. And one little last thing, and just because salt, you know, salt brings out the flavor in food. So even though the cheese is salty, I'm just putting, again, this is like a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's it. You don't really need it because, you know, you're going to garnish this with a little grated cheese maybe anyway. So, oh, smells fabulous. Smells so good. So that is it. You just need to keep this hot. My water's boiling. I'll be right back. I just realized that I never showed you the pasta when I gave you the ingredients. Fettuccine. I'm just using Prince fettuccine. It was on sale in the market. Listen, it's all how you cook the pasta. And this will do today. Listen, I make this sometimes with the homemade pasta. Oh boy. With the homemade pasta, it's a dream, you know. Maybe you could even get some fresh pasta if you have anywhere local to get it from. All right, I did. Let's see how much sauce I have there. Let's say this is, I put about 3/4 of a pound. Now, if you don't like as much sauce, cook the whole pound. If you want to, cook the whole pound. All right, so we're going to let this fettuccine cook, and I will be right back to put this together for you. just coming back for a quick second. The sauce is all blended, and I just have the heat on very low because all I want to do is keep it hot. Let me get the spoon, hold on. Look how beautiful and creamy that is, and the smell is to die for. The smell is fabulous. You know, that ricotta cheese in there, it's a natural thickener, you know, it'll thicken this up. A little tip I'll tell you now, if you have this left over and you're going to heat it the next day, when you take it out of the fridge, it's going to look like paste. Don't worry about it. Put it in a pan, if you're going to do it on top of the stove, or if you're going to heat it up in the microwave, say for lunch the next day. Just get a few sprinkles of water on your hand. Sprinkle it over the top, and amazing. Once the heat hits it, it just all turns into the beautiful sauce again. So just a little tip. I'll be right back. Okay, pasta is cooked and drained. I did not rinse this pasta. A little bit of the starch would actually be good for this dish. Okay, I'm gonna take the sauce, and the sauce is just gonna get poured right onto this pasta. And I'm gonna repeat these measurements for you because this actually was a perfect amount. I'm gonna just pull the glove out, and we're not gonna leave any of this behind because this is just too delicious. Okay. That pan is heavy. That's an enamel pan. Okay. Oh boy. Can you see this? Yes, you can. All right. I'm gonna get my pasta grabber. Here it is. Okay. So, to serve this, I'm just gonna put another little sprinkle of the cheese on top. And you want to go easy with this. You don't want to put too much until you taste it, because you might have enough in there. And I like to garnish it with a little bit of fresh parsley. I just love the flavor of fresh parsley. Not so much when it's cooked, but when it hits the heat of something that's already cooked, it really brings that nice flavor out. Oh boy, oh yeah, I gotta eat some of this. So this sauce is just so good. I'm telling you, easy, easy, easy. Like I told you, the most tedious thing was standing over the stove to get that butter and ricotta cheese blended. Let me move this over. Oh, delicious. This brand of pasta was okay. I don't know if I'd use it again. I like my fettuccine a little bit wider and flatter. But I don't think there's going to be any easy way for me to do this, to tell you the truth, you know. I'm not good at, let's see, hold on. Let me try to get myself. You can watch me do this and make fun of me after. Okay, here we go, I got it. I'm tasting. Perfect. I'm gonna go over those ingredients with you because they were just the right amount. So it's not salty, not too cheesy, came really good. 3/4 of a pound of fettuccine pasta, 1/2 pound of ricotta cheese, cup, 3/4 of a cup to a cup of grated pecorino romano cheese, garlic powder, black pepper, ever so little dash of sea salt, some fresh parsley for the garnish, and that's it. I'll write it down for you so you have it. And again, keep in mind, if you want to make the whole pound of pasta, if you're having company, all you would do is just use the whole pound of ricotta, the whole cup of cheese, maybe like 1.5 tablespoons of the garlic powder. Just kind of, you know, use your own judgment. And you can taste this sauce as you're cooking it. That's what I did. You can taste it. And you'll know immediately if you need a little more cheese, a little more salt. The half and half, I forgot to mention that. the half and half. I used half of the container. So if you're going to make a whole pound of pasta and you're using the whole pound of ricotta cheese, then by all means you would add a little more half and half. I showed you the consistency. That's the way you want to get it. It's nice and creamy. And I mean, is this easy? Or what? And a little more substantial than just eating an Alfredo sauce that's made of like butter and cheese. Because basically that's what the recipes are. I'm going for it. I gotta eat more, I gotta go. All right, nice seeing you again. I'll see you again soon. Take care.